Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
A WWE legend has spoken about Roman Reigns talking about stepping away from the company for a less physically demanding form of entertainment. There, he made the details of the situation clear. Earlier, Roman Reigns talked about how, after his current contract, he may have only 1 or 2 more years in him, after which he would want to take on a less physical form of entertainment. Paul Heyman has now spoken about it with Fox News Digital. "After I finish the contract that I'm in, we probably got another year or 2 max. Then it's time to take on a less physical form of entertainment." This news left fans thinking about a WWE without Roman Reigns, but Heyman provided further insights on the situation. He said that at any time, Reigns and Heyman had multiple roles, projects, films, and TV series, and they were being offered roles over the past few years. He said that on his phone, he had contacts ready to fly in from Hollywood to take a meeting, before or after WrestleMania, regarding different projects. However, he said that despite the high-profile offers they were receiving with substantial studio budgets, neither Roman Reigns nor Paul Heyman were able to jump on those offers. He said that with this context, it was obvious that Reigns didn't have the time to pursue these under his current contract. He added that when the star looks at his new deal, he will want to carve out time for these other pursuits as well. So, Roman saying that this is a consideration of his and that it is something that he would like to exploit is nothing new, but under the current contract, he doesn't have the time and the amount of time in a block to pursue such goals. And as he looks at whatever the next deal may be, I'm sure he wants to carve out times that he can now expand his horizons and include that within his annual schedule. Currently, they are heading into WrestleMania at odds with each other. Roman Reigns will be looking to defeat both Seth Rollins and CM Punk, while Heyman will be in the corner of the straight-edge superstar. The WWE Universe was rocked last month when Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, made the shocking decision to step away from in-ring competition indefinitely. Though rumors had long been swirling about his interest in Hollywood and other creative pursuits, the confirmation still stunned fans and fellow superstars alike. Now, in a revealing and emotional interview, WWE Hall of Famer and Attitude Era icon Edge has broken his silence and shared a deeply personal account of what really led Roman to this unexpected crossroads. "He's not done, just evolving." Speaking candidly on a special episode of the Cutting Edge podcast, Edge, who himself has navigated the transition from wrestling legend to actor and producer, said Roman's exit wasn't a sign of weakness or burnout. Instead, it was a calculated and courageous pivot. "Roman's not done," Edge emphasized. "He's just evolving. When you've been on top of the business like he has, headlining WrestleManias, carrying the company during a pandemic, and essentially reinventing the modern heel, there comes a point when your body and your soul need something more sustainable." Edge revealed he and Roman had several deep conversations backstage over the last year. "There were nights where we'd both just be sitting there in the locker room, gear still on, drenched in sweat, talking about what's next. Not just in wrestling, but in life. The Hollywood temptation, and something deeper." Edge acknowledged that Roman's growing presence in Hollywood played a role. With appearances in the Fast and Furious franchise and a lead role in an upcoming Netflix series, Roman had already dipped his toes into the entertainment waters. "But here's the thing most people don't know," Edge said. "Roman wasn't just looking at movies and scripts. He was working behind the scenes with production teams. He was writing. He was directing concept pitches. The man's got a creative vision that goes way beyond wrestling." The Hall of Famer recounted how Roman would stay after SmackDown tapings to watch how lighting and sound cues were managed. "That's not a guy just chasing fame. That's someone preparing for the next chapter, meticulously. And it's not about being the Rock 2.0, it's about building something entirely his own." The toll of the Tribal Chief. For all his outward strength and dominance, Edge said Roman carried the Tribal Chief persona like armor, and like chains. "People don't realize the mental strain that kind of role demands," Edge said solemnly. "It's not just showing up and saying a few lines. Roman became the Tribal Chief. He had to. It's why the Bloodline storyline worked, it was real in more ways than fans know." Edge recounted a private moment backstage at Clash at the Castle in 2022, where Roman confided in him, "Sometimes I feel like I've disappeared behind the crown." That, according to Edge, was a turning point. You could tell he was still passionate, still grateful, but there was a weight. And I think he realized that if he didn't take a step back soon, he might lose touch with the man behind the character, Leotti. A blessing from Triple H and Heyman. While fans speculated on whether Roman had gone soft or was dodging the grind, Edge revealed the opposite. Roman had full support from WWE's top brass. Triple H sat with him for hours, Edge said. It wasn't a goodbye talk, it was a green light. Paul Heyman too, man. That guy believed in Roman more than anyone. And when Roman told him he was considering a break to pursue writing, acting, even producing, Paul didn't flinch. He said, then we'll build that bridge together. That's loyalty. According to Edge, WWE is already in discussions with Roman about a future behind-the-scenes role. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 years from now he's executive producing a WWE series or crafting Bloodline's next chapter from the writer's room. The Bloodline without its tribal chief. Of course, with Roman gone, the question now is, what becomes of the Bloodline? Edge acknowledged the vacuum Roman leaves behind but said it was exactly what the story needs. This is the time for Solo to rise. For Jacob Fata to become something monstrous. For Jay, Jimmy, heck, even Heyman, to redefine themselves. Roman leaving isn't the end of the Bloodline. It's the trial by fire. And as for the possibility of a future return? I think we'll see Roman in the ring again. But on his terms, Edge mused. Maybe it's WrestleMania 42. Maybe it's a cinematic match he directs himself. But when he comes back, it won't be as the tribal chief. It'll be as something entirely reborn. What's next for Roman Reigns? Insiders report Roman is currently working on an original dramatic series tentatively titled Samoan Royalty, inspired loosely by his family's real-life wrestling dynasty. He's also been in talks with streaming platforms for a docuseries following the next generation of Hawaii wrestlers. And there's buzz about a potential collaboration with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's $7 Productions, though nothing has been confirmed. Edge, for one, believes the sky's the limit. When I left WWE the first time, I thought my world ended. But I found a new one. Roman's not leaving wrestling, he's just lighting a new path. And knowing him? It'll be a path paved in gold. A final message to the WWE Universe. Edge closed the interview with a heartfelt message to fans who might be struggling with Roman's departure. Don't be sad he's gone. Be proud he had the guts to evolve. That's what true champions do, not just win titles, but rewrite the rules for what's possible. Roman Reigns didn't abandon WWE, he just proved that once a tribal chief, always a tribal chief. Even if the battlefield looks a little different now. As the lights dim on Roman Reigns in ring dominance, the spotlight now shifts to his next chapter. And if Edge's words are any indication, the world hasn't seen the last of Roman, it's only just begun to see who he really is. Roman Reigns says his son is also going to go to WWE. Roman Reigns is about to go out and main event another WrestleMania, but in the middle of this, the star has said that one of his sons is going to be a wrestler. He's opened up about it in a recent interview. Reigns sat down with Vanity Fair ahead of WrestleMania to talk about his wrestling career and his life. One of the things he talked about was how his children had always seen him working out and always focusing on improvement. He even joked that his kids thought that he worked out for a living, at one point. He then went on to predict that one of his sons would follow in his footsteps and join WWE. He said that they would be nurtured to think that everyone is living a life that's part wrestling, and that would be just what you're supposed to do. They're going to be nurtured to think, like, well, everybody's just living a wrestling life, he said. That's what you're supposed to do, just train and eat. Reigns certainly does not lack sons. He has 2 sets of twin boys, who are 5 and 8 years old. He also has a daughter who will be heading to high school later this year as a senior. Roman Reigns' sons come from a legendary family. Being Roman Reigns' son in the world of wrestling will certainly come with its own set of challenges, but coming from the Anoa'i family may have better prepared them for this life than anything else. Over time, the Anoa'i family has become one of the most famous and prominent wrestling families in the world. Even now, more than a dozen members are actively wrestling, to say nothing of the legends who have retired in the past. The upcoming WrestleMania 41 has 3 different members of the family competing on the card as well, with Roman Reigns in his triple threat match, Jey Uso facing Gunther for the World Heavyweight title, and Naomi facing Jade Cargill. Should Reigns' son also step into the ring at some point in the future, fans will certainly keep their eyes open. The crowd at the press conference buzzed with excitement. It had been weeks since Roman Reigns was last seen on WWE programming, and fans, media, and insiders alike were eager to know what the tribal chief had to say. Dressed in a sleek black suit, his signature man bun tightly pulled back, Reigns exuded the same quiet authority that had ruled WWE for over 3 years. But what no one expected was the personal bombshell he was about to drop. As the final camera flashes faded and the moderator welcomed him to the stage, Reigns took a deep breath and leaned into the microphone. "I've done a lot in this business," Roman began. "Main evented WrestleMania after WrestleMania. Held the Universal title for over 1,000 days. I've led the Bloodline, unified championships, and redefined what it means to be a champion." The audience nodded, murmurs of agreement echoing. "But today," he said, his voice growing softer, "I'm not here just as Roman Reigns, the WWE superstar. I'm here as Joe, the father. And I've got something to share." The silence that followed was electric. "My son," he continued, a small proud smile creeping across his face, "has decided that he wants to follow in my footsteps. He's going to WWE." There was a moment of stunned stillness before the crowd erupted into applause, cheers, and astonishment. Roman's announcement wasn't just about a future WWE prospect, it was about legacy. "My boy's only 14 now," Roman explained, eyes glistening with pride, "but he's already training. Not just physically. Mentally. I'm teaching him everything. The respect. The discipline. The sacrifices. The heart it takes to step into that ring, not just to fight, but to lead." He paused and chuckled. "He's already got the look. He walks into a room, and people feel it. That same quiet confidence. He doesn't need to shout to be heard, he's got that Reigns presence. And you can bet that when the time comes, he's not just going to be in WWE. He's going to take over." Backstage talk, the Bloodline reacts. The WWE universe quickly exploded with speculation. Could this mean a future extension of the Bloodline? Would Roman's son eventually feud with Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, or even a returning Jey Uso? Paul Heyman, Roman's longtime special counsel, responded during a WWE digital exclusive later that night. "I've always said Roman Reigns is the greatest of all time," Heyman said, adjusting his tie. "But to think we might witness an heir to that greatness? That's not just history, that's prophecy. I, for one, would be honored to counsel the next generation. If Roman allows it, of course." Solo Sikoa was asked about it at a live event and gave a rare smirk. "Bloodline runs deep. You thought we were dangerous now? Wait till little Reigns shows up. A name already in the making." Though Roman didn't reveal his son's full name to protect his privacy, fans were quick to coin nicknames for the future star, the Tribal Prince, Young Reigns, and even Little Chief. WWE's merchandising department was already playing with mock logos and legacy-themed t-shirts. Social media was ablaze with AI mock-ups of the teenager standing beside his father, wearing a version of the Universal title with a next-generation twist. Even Cody Rhodes commented during a fan Q&A, "I've known Joe a long time. If his son has even half of Roman's drive, then yeah, he's going to be something special. Maybe my own daughter will be ready to challenge him one day." Wrestling royalty meets wrestling legacy. That's the future. A father's legacy. Roman sat down with ESPN shortly after the press conference for an exclusive interview where he got more personal. "I wasn't pushed into wrestling," he said. "It was in my blood. My family made this business into something powerful. I had to live up to that. And now, my son. He wants to carry that same torch." When asked whether he'd ever try to stop him, Roman shook his head. "No. I want to protect him, of course. Every dad does. But this business, it's more than just fights and fame. It's storytelling, honor, perseverance. If he's going to step into it, he's going to do it the right way. I'll make sure of it." Roman revealed that his son was already training with legends in the Anoa'i family and even occasionally shadowed Roman backstage. "He's seen the politics. The pressure. He's seen me hurt. But he's still all in. That tells me he's got the heart. And if you've got the heart, the body will follow." A look toward the future. At the next SmackDown, Roman made a surprise appearance to address the fans directly. Standing in the ring, under a sea of Tribal Chief chants, Roman raised the mic slowly. "I told the world my son is coming," he said. "But understand this, he's not coming to be me. He's coming to be better than me." The crowd roared. "Better than the big dog. Better than the Tribal Chief. Better than anything this business has seen. And when he arrives, when he steps into that ring." Roman looked directly into the camera. "Just know that the next era won't be ruled. It'll be born." As his music hit and he raised his hand in signature fashion, the arena erupted with chants of "Future Chief. Future Chief." Final thoughts. This announcement has shifted the narrative of WWE's long-term future. While Roman Reigns may be eyeing Hollywood roles and reduced in-ring schedules, his presence in WWE isn't going anywhere, it's simply evolving. With his son already training, dreaming, and preparing to carve his own legacy, the Reigns dynasty looks set to expand beyond any expectations. It's no longer just about the head of the table. It's about the son who was raised at it, and who might one day flip it over entirely. Because in the WWE universe, bloodline isn't just a storyline, it's destiny.